It's now time for Energy Insights, where you get an inside view and local perspectives of all the oil and gas progress going on in the Mid-Ohio Valley. This program is being brought to you by the Southeastern Ohio Oil and Gas Association, and it can be heard every Saturday at 9 a.m. on local radio WMOA AM 1490 and ESPN radio WJAW FM 100.9 and AM 630. It's now time for the show. Here's Johnny Wharf, your local host.
Johnny Wharf on a Saturday morning, another Energy Insight edition, and we're proud to have Don Huck with us of local Artex Oil Company, and always a pleasure to learn a little bit about the industry and from somebody who's in the community and has been in the community. So Don, maybe for our listeners, let's dive into the company of Artex Oil and maybe some of the things that this business does that is unique to the industry.
Sure. Artex Oil Company for over the last 20 plus years has been drilling wells to the Knox Formation. And I think something a little unique to that is that that's all seismic based, which means that we put a signal into the ground. We have listening devices that listen for that. We take that data, we process it through a lot of computations and that sort of thing, and come back with a lot of squiggly lines that mean things to geophysicists and things in terms of, if you look at it, what's subsurface. We're trying to get a picture of the subsurface. There's two-dimensional, which is in one line. There's three-dimensional, which is over an area, and we do both. So it's kind of unique to the oil and gas in terms of you don't do that typically for the Berea or the Clinton or some of the historic formations.
So what the heck did you do before all this technology came about? Did we guess, or how'd that work?
Well, in Ohio, the Knox technology didn't come around till the late 80s, early 90s. Right. Seismic just wasn't there. And there was a boom. There was a boom through the late 80s and up through the 90s drilling Knox wells in Ohio because two-dimensional seismic came about and people figured out they could use it. They could image at least in one direction in a straight line. And then as the technology got into 3D and that sort of thing, it really boiled down to computer space. You can't, huge amount of computations to do 20 square miles of 3D seismic, and the computers couldn't handle it back in the day. So it was a technology limitation.
And are the measurements taken from truck, from fracking, from how do you get those specific measurements?
They can be done two ways. It can either be done with 10 or 20 foot small holes, and just a small charge is set off to just put a signal into the ground. It's nothing you feel, but the sensors can detect it. Or you can do it with a vibrosize, where you have a truck that just sets a cylinder on the ground and just puts a bit of a vibration into the ground, and you can listen that way. And then it just does some imaging based on the computer work.
Is that how, because of technology, I'm sure has a big part to do with it that you find out, where these pools of gas are and how maybe some of this stuff has come to light recently, as opposed to, you mean we've been sitting on this all along? Sure.
I mean, the stuff you're chasing with the Knox are buried hills, we call them, and they're not everywhere. Matter of fact, they're very rare. So when you go out, you have to image it, or if you just go out and drill a well, you discover it by sheer accident. In which, when you drill a lot of conventional wells and that sort of thing, if you drill through it, you might see it along the way. Well, the Knox is deeper than all of our conventional reservoirs, so nobody could see it until they were able to image it.
All right, I appreciate the opportunity to learn a little bit more about the oil and gas industry, and specifically as it pertains to our local company, Artex Oil. Don Huck, our guest as always. We appreciate your time.
Thanks.
All right, Don Huck from Artex Oil Company. Until next week, this is Johnny Wharf. Have a great day.
Thank you for listening to Energy Insights, brought to you by the Southeastern Ohio Oil and Gas Association. Tune in every Saturday at 9 a.m. on WMOA and ESPN Radio WJAW as Johnny Wharf brings you your local and inside perspectives of the oil and gas progress going on in the Mid-Ohio Valley.